Let's hope this is the right channel. That's it.
Is it the right channel?
It's it's making the thicker blue line.
We've done everything right today, Paul.
Wow. I mean, we definitely didn't do everything right earlier. But
Are you talking about taking a tire off my car?
let's do it on an incline with your car facing down the hill, which it wasn't even that much of a hill, but that's a terrible idea.
And then let's take my tire off and block in that sweet, nice lady who just
wanted to go pick up her daughter from school. And, I get it. I'm sorry. I was like, can you give us 3 minutes so I can put the tire back on?
She's like, I can get through that.
And I was like,
that was good.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. I felt bad. I've never met that neighbor ever, by the way. So I feel bad
Well,
for her.
at least she knows you're sorry.
Yeah, but now I have to live with her knowing that I was the dickhead that blocked the road. Because, well, I mean, to be fair, not many people use that end of the road.
That's
it was
true.
literally
There's
only her.
Like those two people.
And the
it's
other
her and
person
the other
parked
side.
right next to you. But that's her regular spot, by the way.
At least you're not known as... Have I talked about the neighbor from the past holiday season around Memorial Day?
No.
Oh, excellent.
Was there a murder?
No, there wasn't a murder. But the only reason I know about these neighbors is because they started to...
Fornicate?
No, they started to light firecrackers in the alleyway.
Oh.
Or whatever noise-making explosive every time they left. And so...
What?
And so, middle of the day, end of the day, midnight, doesn't matter. They were lighting off explosive fireworks, and everybody in the neighborhood both hated them and were calling the cops on them.
That's fair, though. Yeah.
It is very fair.
I have a collection of fireworks in the house, but I've never lit them off. Well, 4th of July, I did light them off in the backyard.
And that's tactful.
Yeah.
But it was like Memorial Day.
Don't do that. Yeah, what the heck? That's ridiculous.
And it was every hour of every day for like a week and a half.
That's hilarious. I mean, you got to do it till your fireworks are gone.
Or you do it until...
Why did we go outside today? It was so cold.
I don't understand. When I got here, I was like, I want to say no. But I also know that if I say no, it's not done.
It's not going to get done.
So
and it needs to get done. We replaced the car battery in Levi's beautiful Sebring.
Yes, and the thing that you should know about this model, the make and model of car, a 2006 Sebring sedan touring.
In red, if anyone wants to follow him.
In red, if anyone wants to follow me. Actually, there's more than one of my kind of car in this town.
I've seen 3.
And so I'm relatively happy that it would be hard for you to find me. Or harder, anyways. They don't make this style of car anymore. It's discontinued.
For a very good
Probably
reason.
for a good reason.
For anyone wondering, it's the car that Michael Scott drove, except he doesn't have the convertible version.
Yes, I don't have the convertible.
Yeah. Anyway, so about this model of car, the battery is stored behind. The battery is stored in the balls. The battery.
Yes.
Is
Actually, it's half ball.
Yeah. Half ball. It's stored in the fish. That's a joke nobody knows.
I know.
Nobody knows that.
And I'm okay with it.
Anyway, the battery. To get to the battery, you have to take off the driver's side front tire.
Yes.
And then the fender guard to get to it. It's a really annoying thing. It takes forever to do when you don't have a lift or a heated shop or light.
Yes, and we didn't have light for the last half hour about.
Yeah. We had light until we got the tire off, and then after that, we did not have any.
It's pretty rough.
That was really terrible. Do not recommend doing that. We were out there for so long, like maybe an hour and a half.
Yep, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half, which doesn't seem so bad to be in the cold when you're doing stuff, except for we came in.
It was below 0 today.
Yeah, and we thought we lost our toes. We really did. I went out in just jeans and a hoodie because I'm a dummy, because I'm stupid. You're wearing just sweatpants though, so I don't.
I mean, like my legs were fine. It was my feet.
No, it was my legs
hurt.
were fine. It was just that because I was like kneeling down the whole time, my butt was out. So
you had frozen butt syndrome.
I did have frozen butt syndrome.
I groaned for like 20
I had a case
minutes
of frozen
after we
cheeks.
got in here.
I know. I did
as my
too.
feet slowly got feeling back.
I started making terrible jokes because I couldn't. I thought I was going to lose my left toe. The feeling didn't come back for like maybe 35 minutes.
But now it's back.
And now it's back, and I feel happy, but I'm just so... I was so mad. I was really mad at Levi.
There is... You're really mad at me.
Well, because it's...
I wasn't happy with myself, but...
I mean, I'm glad we got it done together, because if it was just me alone and like you inside, I'd have been mad at you.
Yeah. With the light thing? Or is that why you're mad?
That was just more funny. I got to be the angry dad. Shine the light where I freaking need it.
It's like, Levi, stop talking to the the nice neighbor.
It's like, just shine the light somewhere useful for once, damn it. I was so mad.
Yeah.
And because it was like, we had a nice neighbor that came by. That also, I've never met this neighbor. I don't know a whole lot of my neighbors. I think I only know my upstairs neighbor and a neighbor that's around the corner because she and I used to live in La Crosse together.
Oh, okay.
And I was friends with her sister.
Okay.
And it's only the only reason why I wasn't friends with her is because she's like 3 years younger. That's it. But like we've hung out like as a group and group stuff together.
Yeah.
So like and I haven't even seen her in a year. She lives around the block. Was a friend. I haven't seen her in a year. Anyway, yeah. So we were getting this stupid tire off, or putting it back on. Or we're starting to put everything back on, and this neighbor pulls up, and she's like, do you guys need any help? Like, what's wrong? Do you guys need like a hand with anything?" And it's like, actually, no. We're putting everything back together now that we got it all fixed, because we had just started his car to make sure the battery was hooked up correctly and everything started right.
It runs real nice now.
Now it does, yeah.
I'm happy with the battery.
Excuse me. And then he started, like, we were talking for a bit, and I felt like we had enough of a conversation where I was like, okay, she gets the point.
Yeah.
I got to get this done because I can't feel my butt.
And I was at the point where...
And my pliers are freezing to my hand.
Yeah. I was at the point where everything I was doing was a hallucination, and so it didn't matter. I was just in the moment.
Yeah.
I was existing.
Oh, man. Yeah.
There's just something about being in the cold that does that to you.
Anyway, after he mentioned his hallucinations, he mentioned several childhood stories, and I want to hear them now.
You want to hear them?
Yeah.
We started with... Well, we had...
you can skip the camp one. That one's fine.
You want to skip the trauma one?
Yeah.
My cold trauma?
Fine. You can say your cold trauma.
No, it's actually not, like, the best story. The moral of it, anyways, is...
He went to scout camp, didn't bring his socks.
I have a fear of my feet being really cold, largely because an adult leader talked sternly towards me, like, yo, you're an idiot for not bringing wool socks in the winter.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's not like, I'd rather not have that memory.
Yeah.
But also it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, fair enough.
Were we going towards, what other story did you cut me off on? I don't remember that
I don't
part.
remember. I cut you off. I was kind of mad at the moment because I couldn't find bolts that fit
My
the holes.
gosh. Do I have any?
We didn't even put all the bolts back. We just kind of said...
Well,
we put all the bolts back. We didn't put all the push...
okay. Okay.
The tabs back.
Which is fine. As long as that thing stays on my car.
We put 3 of them on. That, like, the 3 most important ones. And then after that... Because you're supposed to put new ones on every time. You're not supposed to reuse them. I mean, you can reuse them, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah. Because
they're supposed to go on and then, like, have to be yanked off.
What story did I lose?
I don't know.
That's going to bother me now.
It doesn't bother me. It was just... You said it was going to be good.
I didn't leave any, like... Well, I don't know if it was supposed to be good, but it was just a story at that point.
Yeah.
Because my mind was going to anywhere except my current circumstance because it was just so cold.
Yeah. I haven't been that cold in years. Like, straight up years. That was really cold. And, like, both of us, like, that was the most we'd gone outside in a week.
That's true.
Was an hour and a half straight in the freezing cold, and we hadn't gone outside for a week at all. Because...
Paul, why didn't we go outside for a week?
Almost all of the Lake City Variety family got COVID. or another bug because I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't officially tested, but like yeah.
Most likely
Who knows what I had at this
not
point?
from each other. Although
'cause
it
we
could be up in the air.
it could be up in the air, but we hadn't seen each other for like 7 days. But then we all had the symptoms at the same time.
It's true.
And then I had friends down south, not south as in like Texas or anything, but
Like south of where
like
we are.
2.5
right now.
hours south of us
Yeah.
that also got sick. My dad got sick, who I hadn't seen in 9 days or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, my mom didn't get sick. My grandma got sick. We're pretty certain. My mom has narrowed it down to my grandma got all of us sick, mostly just to use it as like a, yep, she got everyone sick.
Yeah, which is okay.
Yeah, nice scapegoat.
It's either for me. It's either you guys or my roommate also got COVID at about the exact same time.
Yeah.
Or I also went to a conference with like 450 people at it, so I could have
That also
randomly picked it up there, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't heard of anything else coming from
There's
there.
only 2 of us that were at the event that I was at that got it. And so I'm pretty certain it wasn't from that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was also at an event last weekend.
Okay.
And it was brutal. But, like, it was my first week off of work. And it was my wife and I staying on the couch for 7 days straight. And, like, I wasn't even sick the whole time. I got sick on Wednesday and then got better on Saturday. And then had, like, phlegm and sometimes, like, sinus stuff. But, like, I've never had to blow my nose. And I only cough every once in a while. You might have heard the one earlier, but that's, like, the first cough in a couple hours.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, I cough, like, once every 3 hours just to get, like, a loogie out. And that's it. And other than that, I'm fine. But Carly can't taste. She's still coughing. She's got the sniffles.
Yeah.
She was sick for 8 days.
Yeah.
Everyone feels bad for Carly. She got it really hard. Yeah. It feels bad. Dawson, who was here last week, he got sick. He also didn't get tested, so he might have had something else.
Sure.
Because he had already had COVID a month before.
So it's hard to be like.
It's hard to be like, you know.
Is that COVID again?
Is that COVID again or not? You know, because he had already had it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, anyway.
And then.
It's not even like, because I haven't tested positive for COVID. I've had like 3 or 4 COVID tests during this whole thing, and I haven't had COVID yet. As far as I could have had it, but I didn't get tested because I don't have a job.
It doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, it
to
doesn't
you
matter to
anyways.
me. It doesn't
like,
matter to me if I.
You're gonna show yourself the COVID test and be like,
"Oh,
boss, I gotta stay home today."
It's like I already stayed home. I'm already like doing what I want to do. I emailed a guy about a job, and that's about what I did today. So
there you go.
I did like 7 loads of laundry. I did good house husband things.
Yeah,
but cleaned the house a lot. Made my wife put away her 75 sweaters.
Which is good.
Because I didn't want to do it wrong. That's the only reason. And oh man, being sick.
I know.
During COVID, when you don't have COVID, sucks. Because nobody will talk to you, even if it's like, it's clearly a flu. I threw up 8 times today. Like, that's not a COVID thing.
I had COVID.
Yeah.
But I don't know what my segue is. So I'm just thinking about my experience. I have never felt aches before when I was sick. Like, it's just the strangest experience.
I didn't get aches this time, but when I was sick last year, I did.
But it felt like in my back and my legs, it felt like I had run a marathon the day before.
Oh, I never had. I've never had.
It was like very intense, and I'm also a baby when it comes to being sick.
Yeah.
And so, the only escape from my pain was sleeping, and the only escape from being nauseous was sleeping. Because every time I went vertical, I threw up.
Yeah.
So I didn't go vertical very often.
Yeah.
And so I slept most of Wednesday afternoon. After I realized I had COVID.
We used all those DoorDash coupons that I got. Oh, man. Like $40 off total is what we ended up using. Yeah. For those interested in using my coupon code for DoorDash, a food delivery service, head to the Reddit r/Lake City Variety.
That's right.
There's actually, we do have a subreddit, and there's some stuff there sometimes.
It gave us a nice kickback, so
Yeah.
thank you.
Also, if you were listening to the bonus last week when I said I'd be streaming today, I was. Suck it. Yeah. But, man.
That's a nice
It
Coke.
just kind of sucked. We watched all of The Witcher season 1 and 2 in 2 days. And then I was like, I think I got The Witcher 1 for free like a while ago. And I
Like
checked.
the Witcher game?
Yeah, The Witcher game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I did. I do have it for free. I own it. It's downloaded on my computer.
Do you play it for the lore?
It's a game from 2007, and it plays way better than other games from 2007.
That's good.
But it plays way worse than games today. It's third-person combat. It's basically turn-based combat, except for there's no defined turn. And if you do an action at the wrong time, you have to time everything correctly. And if you do it at the wrong time, it just doesn't tell you that it failed. It's just no damage indicator appears over the enemy.
Well, that's pretty rough.
And that's it. That's the only way you'll tell. It throws you right into the story, which actually I didn't mind because after watching The Witcher season 1 and 2, I kind of it started off with like the fight that's in Witcher episode 2 or something like that, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Where it's like the princess that's cursed, and then he like crawls in the grave.
Something like Cersei or gosh, what's her name?
No, Ciri is the princess.
Ciri.
That's the princess. That's his daughter.
Okay. Sure.
I'm talking about the one that was like cursed, and the incest baby that was cursed and like crawled out of her mother's womb every night.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Oh, anyway, it starts off with that cutscene of him fighting that, and like, oh, that's cool. They pulled this, like they use that right in the movie, and it's actually cool in both because it's pretty true to each of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, cool. And then it, even more cutscenes and more cutscenes and more cutscenes, and then it throws you in, and then it's like, oh, combat's stupid. By the way, if you want to, you don't have to use a keyboard for this game. What? What do you mean you don't have to use a keyboard for this? You can just use your mouse? It's like that's one of the controller options is either keyboard and mouse or just mouse.
How does just mouse work?
Well, it's a game from 2007. It's like point and click turn-based combat, except the combat's really simple. And it's not like The Witcher 3 now, where The Witcher 3 is like, Skyrim. Where you have combat and you have other abilities and stuff, but it plays like Dark Souls, where you have different attacks and you don't have to time things unless you want to parry stuff or things like that.
Who would ever want to parry things when you could just sneak around with a bow and
sneak around with a bow and shoot
get 3 times
butt.
damage?
I needed that.
Dude, I restarted Skyrim. That was something I did over the past few days.
Yeah? How'd that go?
I mean, it's going.
It's Skyrim.
I made it to...
I got the Elder Scrolls Online.
Okay.
And I beat the tutorial.
Is it good?
I beat the tutorial.
Well...
And I've been waiting for Corey and another friend to play it with me. So...
That's hard, though.
One of them has a level 200 character. It's like, just rush me through the game, please.
So it has to be, like, at least okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, they put, like, hundreds of hours in, so it has to be good. It's just that I haven't, so I don't know.
What's, like, the driving experience? Like, those, I don't understand, like, online multiplayer games, like a World of Warcraft or, like, a Elder Scrolls Online.
Part of it...
Like, what's the driving force there?
It's an always updated world.
Okay.
That's always going on. And so it's kind of cool to have a character that you start with and then have that same character through every change in the world.
Interesting. Okay.
And then you can also play with your friends. So it's like, if you liked playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion or Skyrim, then you might enjoy going through those same worlds, but with like 3 friends.
Okay.
But then there's other people around too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's stuff like that. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to look. I thought it was going to look like World of Warcraft, where it's bad.
World of Warcraft's pretty bad.
But it doesn't look bad. It actually looks like an actual updated Elder Scrolls game. Like, it's been updated since 2013. It looks good.
Okay.
The graphics are good.
Because it came out...
It came out a long time ago.
I'm trying to remember...
Well, Skyrim came out in, like, 2012, didn't it?
Yes.
On Xbox
It's a
360.
decade old, isn't it? And
It
the
is.
PS3.
PS3 and Xbox 360. Which my first time playing it was on an Xbox 360, but in 2017, which
Oh, strange. Okay.
which is if you don't know, 3 years after the PlayStation 4 came out. Which PlayStation 4 is old now, and I remember getting one like 4 years ago and being pumped about it.
Mm-hmm. And now the 5 is, well,
You still can't find it. I found one for $600, and I
yeah,
was
but
like,
that's not.
I know it's not MSRP, but it's like $600 is better than $1,200.
That's a lot better than 1,200.
Yeah, I mean I'm fine with not having a PlayStation 5. I'll get one when I want.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm trying to find retro consoles.
Oh, sure.
I grew up with a Sega Genesis and
Okay.
a PlayStation. Not the PS1, not the little small little thing, but the first gray box, the PlayStation.
What does that even mean?
The PlayStation 1, but it's not called the PS1.
Okay, yeah, I guess I
It's the
understand.
gray box.
My dad has one.
He does?
Yeah,
He's not going to sell it because he likes it a lot.
I mean, he probably hasn't touched it in years. If he still has it,
If you talk to him for me.
I'll talk to him for you.
Okay. I understand. Your dad is also like a PlayStation shill. Does he have a PS5 yet?
No.
Will he get one? I think your dad has to be someone that's going to get one.
My dad, I don't think has bought a console since buying us a PS2 in like 2014.
Didn't he buy a PS4?
It's almost always been a Father's Day gift, the newest PlayStation. So
Oh,
it's always
that,
been like my
everyone chips
mom
in?
and me.
Yeah, chipping in.
Well, I mean, everyone chipping in, or like
Just your
my
mom buying.
my mom using my dad's money to
using the credit card to buy a
using the
PlayStation.
family credit card to buy a PlayStation.
Which is, I mean, biggest thing about the PlayStation since the PS3,
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray player. I don't own a
Yeah.
Blu-ray player because I own a PlayStation. Only thing I wish is that because I have the Slim and a 4K TV, I can only watch Blu-ray in 1080,
Yeah,
which
that's
is like stupid.
fine.
But it's fine because when Blu-ray came out, it was 1080.
Mm-hmm.
But I
you
want 4K Blu-rays, please.
Do you think? Because I remember way back in the day when HD was a type of like disc, like a video playing disc.
HD disc, yeah.
It was red, and then Blu-ray had started to get popular at the same time. So there's the red and the blue discs at the DVD store.
Yep.
Back
HD,
when
there
Family
was,
Video
there
was real?
an Xbox 360 add-on called the HD disc player.
Okay.
And the only reason, that's one of the main reasons why HD disc failed was because Sony was championing Blu-ray.
Oh,
in, like,
sure.
all of their stuff. So like they would put out like, all the Blu-ray players and
every game
And the
has
PS
Blu-ray as well too.
well, every PlayStation 3
Yeah.
was Blu-ray, was a Blu-ray player.
Yep.
And the PS3 didn't catch on, really. Because it was $600 at launch
Yeah.
for a giant brick. But it was
But,
backwards,
like,
but it was
you know,
backwards compatible with PlayStation 1 and 2,
which is great.
huge until they got rid of the backwards compatibility with PS2. But every PlayStation 3 is backwards compatible with PS1.
Okay.
It's just
Probably takes less hardware.
Yeah, well, the PlayStation 1 is a brick. It's a fun brick. It's honestly a
Oh,
brick that I
yeah.
have a lot of memories with. It's actually sorry. Getting back to console stuff. Yeah, so like Sony was championing Blu-ray with everything, and so they pushed it so hard and hard and hard, and like only a few people cared about like HD disc, and it was like technically better, but it was so expensive to produce and to watch that
The HD, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
like it just doesn't catch on. You know,
But so my question with that is like, will
I think it was technically better. Hold on.
4K media go the same way as HD? Or since there's no competition and it's technically the upgrade, it's going to stick around forever? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there going to be like the 4K disc?
Sorry. So Blu-ray offered more capacity on it, and that's the main reason.
Oh,
So they're
interesting.
both like pretty close.
But you can put more movie on a
You can
Blu-ray disc.
Well, like a Blu-ray movie, like a 4K Blu-ray,
Yeah.
is huge. It's like it can be up to 100 gigabytes.
Oh, that's nuts.
It's huge. They're really big. I mean, it's all compressed and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's a file compression. So when they're decompressed, they're massive.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah, I think 4K. 4K is here to stay for a while. That's the new replacement for 1080 for watching TV.
Okay, which is just a screen resolution. It doesn't have much to do with anything
It's just
else.
a screen resolution. It's just more pixels.
Okay.
So like 1080p is 1920 by 1080. That's how many pixels it is. So it's 1920 wide by 1080 tall. That's how many pixels.
Yep.
That's the pixel density.
Yep.
And then 4K is like 4,000 by like 6,000, something like that.
Yeah, it has the same ratio as 1080p though.
It's like 4 1080p's though.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you put 4 1080p, I mean it's similar to that, but if you put like, I think it's the same amount of pixels as like 3 1080p's or maybe 4 or something like that.
But just mashed
I know
back into a rectangle.
But it's in the same size.
Yeah.
So it's that much more dense, but in this little space.
I remember watching.
So like this is a 4K TV.
Yeah. I remember watching.
Like the text, the really little text at the top, like the analytics, or analyze tools, helps, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I
like
can
way at
read
the
from
top.
here very easily. On 1080, it would be very, very blurry. You wouldn't be able to read it as
Interesting. So
and I'm
it's
across
less crisp.
the room. It is. It's. I mean, it's not as crisp as it could be.
Sure, sure.
But it's more crisp than 1080 is.
Okay.
Because for 1080, each black dot might actually just be like 3 pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Where on this, it's 16.
Which is quite a few more.
Per black dot. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
A scientific statement.
I
That's
don't know.
more.
But it's like, I don't know what the ratio is.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
I was gonna say.
But I think 4K Blu-ray is gonna replace Blu-ray at some point.
Okay.
I think they'll still produce regular Blu-rays because they're cheap. But you're gonna find a lot more 4K Bluray.
That
and then when 8K comes, because there's very few things that can do 8K right now.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be 8K, but it's a gradual climb.
Do you think people they'll just keep ramping up screen resolution more or less?
Yeah. There's no point. You can make a TV as big as you want, but if I have a 55-inch TV that's 4K and a 75-inch TV that's 4K,
your 50-inch is gonna have more.
My 55-inch is gonna be cleaner.
Yeah.
But the 75 is still gonna be nicer.
Yeah.
But you'll have more crisp picture on a smaller TV that's 4K.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like my 1440p monitor that's in there, even though it's only 1440p, which is only a bit better than Blu-ray or than 1080p,
mm-hmm.
is still way nicer than anything in 1080 at that size.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels a lot better. That and the refresh rate's really high on that. It's like
it's
100.
a gaming monitor.
Well,
so.
yeah, I paid for it to be high. It's not like 320. It's not even like 240. It's only 165, which
bad.
I mean, most games I play with ultra settings and ray tracing on are at 165 frames anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine with that.
Because you won't need anything higher at all.
I don't need anything higher because it doesn't matter at that point.
Well, and your eye will only pick up.
Well, your eye only picks up to like 120.
Yeah, your eye only at that point picks up differences between frame rates.
Yep.
So if you were dipping and going a lot,
Yeah,
then you'd notice
if it was dipping, but I don't have dips.
Yeah.
VSync enabled 120 frames a second. That's the way it is. I play with VSync enabled. I hate screen tearing.
I don't know what VSync means. A lot of those settings
VSync,
don't mean a lot to me.
There's VSync, and then there's the AMD one, FreeSync.
Okay.
And what that does
Welcome to our gaming episode, everybody.
It synchronizes your monitor refresh rate with your GPU's clock speed.
Okay.
So every time your GPU is pushing out an image, it's refreshing at the same time as it's pushing out.
So you're getting
So instead of going all over the place where it's like GPU's cranking out as many as it can.
Yeah.
Whatever settings you have it set at. And then your monitor's just doing its nice clip of whatever it's doing. So
Yeah.
your monitor's staying steady, and then your game is kind of going faster, slower, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that causes screen tearing when it's like putting out 3 frames at the same time it's refreshing 1.
Mm-hmm.
It synchronizes both of those, so it caps your maximum frame rate at whatever it is, and so.
But it'll be a lot crisper, right?
But it'll be a lot crisper. It'll
Okay.
all flow at the same time. There's no screen tearing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Some people hate it because they like really high FPS,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. I happen to like it because when I'm streaming, I can limit it to what I need it to be limited to.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mhm. And then also have it sync.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I stream at 1080p 60 frames.
Mm-hmm.
Or, 60 FPS. That's what it outputs at.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm recording 1440p at 120.
Yeah.
I just cut everything in half, basically.
Okay.
But my raw recording files are huge because it's just being compressed a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
which takes some video usage and video memory, but I have 12 gigabytes of video RAM, so it's not like I'm going to run out anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've run out of RAM one time on my computer, by the way.
Nice.
Like video RAM, like Call of Duty will use up video RAM in like 3 minutes. But I
Yeah.
ran out of actual memory. I have 32 gigs of memory.
How did you use all of it, though?
Linux doesn't have like system limiters, and it can just if you're not careful and you start too many processes at the same time, it'll just go, okay, I can do that. I have the CPU cores to do that, and it won't limit itself based on how much RAM it has. At least
Yeah.
certain versions of Linux. The Linux I use won't.
Okay.
But I have been in situations where it's like, I have my really nice computer, and it's frozen because I've used all of my RAM, and it can't do anything.
Oh my gosh.
I use 32 gigs of RAM straight, like 100%, for 15 minutes.
Well, there you go.
It's just like,
We've done it.
when it finally dipped to like 31, I was able to like shut it down. I couldn't shut down my computer until it dipped to 31.
That's crazy.
I couldn't move my mouse. Yeah. Luckily, what I was doing wasn't important. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shut down.
Yeah.
But that was the worst experience of like, oh no.
Oh crap. What have I done?
Yeah. It was almost worse than when I tried to overclock my RAM beyond specifications and it didn't work.
And I didn't. That would be bad.
It was bad. It was really bad. I shouldn't have done it. But anyway.
But anyways, where
man.
to next, Paul?
I want a PlayStation 1, the first one.
You want a PlayStation 1?
I want a Sega Genesis.
Okay.
The original model, not the Model 1, not the Model 2 or the Model 3,
Okay.
but the big one. With one controller. Doesn't have to be 6-button. I'll accept a 3-button controller. But I don't want any
Okay.
knockoff ones. I want Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. I want the Monopoly game that I used to have for the Sega Genesis. For the PlayStation, I want Ace Combat 2, and I want Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2. I also want NBA 1996
Okay.
and Cabela's Big Game Hunt 1998.
Okay.
I don't need the Cabela's game, and I don't need the NBA game, but
They're also both older than you.
Shush. So was Ace Combat 2, but it's the greatest game of all goddamn time.
That's fair enough.
It's literally the reason why I bought Ace Combat 7. And there's when I dug into the Ace Combat people a little bit,
Okay.
and it's like, oh, if I had grown up with a PS2, I would have become these people. I like easily, where it's like, because there's a whole story and everything.
Yeah.
And there's like a fake country called or fake countries called like Aruja, and like that kind of stuff.
Aruja.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, It's like Final Fantasy style art, and it's really cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen like the Final Fantasy VII remake,
Not
where
the
it's like
remake,
kind of
no.
it's like hyper realistic anime?
Okay.
Uh,
Or like Persona 5 almost. Or no,
I
that's
don't know.
more cartoony.
That's too cartoony.
yeah.
I'm talking about like, oh wow, that looks like almost a real person, but they're too anime like,
I
where the,
think
where the
I've s-
lines are too harsh.
Gosh, yes.
Anyway,
I think I know what you're talking about.
anyway, that's like what the art style of this game is, except it's a hyper realistic, like flight. It's not like it's for the people that like Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's not for you, but if you're like, hell yeah, I want to be in a dogfight with 30 other planes at the same time. That sounds awesome, but the flight's also difficult. That's for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Ace Combat is the greatest series of video games ever. I want to play them all.
Okay.
They're all completely different in their own way. I grew up with Ace Combat 2, and I actually emulated it because all games were purchased legally. Anyway,
I owned this game at one point. Thus,
I own this game currently.
put this in my share quotes, Paul.
Shush. Shut up.
This is admissible evidence to the FBI.
I own this game. How about this? I have several hundred hours of it when I was a child on Ace Combat. How about
There
that?
you go. That's good. That's good.
That's enough for me to own it.
Also, I think this is all hearsay too, so it wouldn't be
Yeah.
admissible in a court
Exactly.
of law. Anyways,
Clearly this is for comedy, Your Honor.
yeah, exactly.
This is jokes.
You don't understand, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't have my lawyer, Frankie. Frankie, where's
I'm sorry. What do you say, Frankie?
anyway,
You won't defend us in a. Okay.
you won't defend us against Sony.
You won't defend us against the
And
federal
Square
government.
Enix or whatever. It's not Square. it's not Square Enix. It's
No, it's like Square Enix, isn't it? Like CNIX.
but that's not the company that made the game.
Oh, sure. Okay.
It's like Bandai. It's Namco. Namco made it.
Okay.
Namco Bandai or whatever.
That makes sense.
That's who made Ace Combat 2 at least. Also, greatest guitar riffs of all time. I've talked about this game on the podcast before. I've played the guitar riffs.
I think you have, although has it been main episode content?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. It's
Okay.
too good. And I showed Carly gameplay of it. I played it for her
Mm-hmm.
just in front. I didn't even play much of it. I played like the first 2 levels, and she's like, "Why did you talk about this game so much? It looks terrible." But in my brain,
Yeah.
it looks exactly the same as the super realistic Ace Combat 7 does right now. And
That's how it works.
it is. Yeah, like when you were a kid, games looked good. They looked really good. And then you look at them now and you're like, "Oh my goodness, this is the worst thing I've ever seen." Unless it's a very special game to you in your heart,
Yeah.
and then it looks the same.
The exact same.
Luckily, Sonic the Hedgehog is a certain art style, and it's supposed to look like that. So it's timeless. It always looks good. Mario Sunshine doesn't look good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mario 64 doesn't look good. Even Mario Galaxy doesn't look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing, 3D games versus regular games. Sonic 3D, not a good game. Looked bad.
Okay.
Looked really bad. Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic 06, all of them terrible.
Not
Actually,
good
most Sonic games are terrible except for Sonic Forces, which was too short. Yeah. Anyway, it's
Well.
really short.
Okay.
But like Sonic Mania, looks good. Sonic and Knuckles, same, looks great. And Sonic Mania came out 20 years later. So you know what? I don't want to hear about these games looking old. That's how they look now
They look
too.
the same.
They look the same. It's been 20 years.
I try to remember all of my old.
I finally beat Sonic 2.
Did you actually?
I did.
Okay.
I had it when I was a kid. I haven't had a Sega Genesis since I was 12. Nintendo released an officially licensed emulator, Sega emulator, that comes with Nintendo Online,
There you go.
and on it is Sonic 2. And I did it. I beat Sonic 2 with all the Chaos Emeralds going supersonic through every level.
Okay.
I loved it. I had a really great time. I was so proud of myself for doing the one thing I couldn't do as a kid.
Beat the game.
Beat the game. Well, when I was a kid, I couldn't get past like stage 3 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard.
That's how it usually works.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, I haven't died once. Oh, okay. I finished with 17 lives and I haven't died yet.
I've done it. I've made it in the world.
I've really made it now. Yeah. And then I want a new Nintendo, not new as in brand new, but the new Nintendo 3DS XL.
Yep.
That's the one I want. It's the one with the little C stick. It's the really big one. And I had a 3DS. I had a 2DS, the flat one, for like 3 minutes of my life. Like basically like 3.5 weeks. I had the 3DS. Or the 2DS. And then it broke. And I was really sad. I never got it fixed. No, I sold it. And then like my friend had it and it broke. And he's like, you sold me a broken thing. It's like, it was working when I gave it to you. And then it worked for a week. So not my fault.
That's rough.
And I didn't buy it new. I bought it from a friend.
Okay.
So it's like, it was used when actually almost every game console that I've had was used. I have never opened up a brand new console. My Nintendo Switch was used. Carly's Nintendo Switch was used. My PlayStation 4 was used. Actually, Andy gave it to me. He was on episode 3.
That's right. Shout out to episode 3, everybody.
Shout out to episode 3 where we had a single bad mic. But Andy was here, so it was still fun.
Those were the good days.
And we were sweating way too much. We went to...
Oh, on that couch.
Yeah.
That's now dead.
Well, it's in the basement.
You kept the couch?
Well, the dump was closed.
Oh, baby, we're going to the basement.
You can. I'm not going with you. You didn't know it was in the basement?
No, I didn't. I haven't been to your basement in
Elliot goes down there all the
weeks.
time.
I never go to your basement.
I thought you lived down there.
I have regular laundry.
I thought you lived down there. You just do it at the Kai house.
Look,
that's cheating.
Paul.
You just do it at the Kai house, don't you?
You were never supposed to hear that I live in your basement.
I thought you knew that there was a couch down there.
Look,
if you lived in my basement.
Look, you're not supposed to know that. I've been sleeping on your couch since you put it down there. It made me really.
All right, when did I put it down there?
Like after you bought this couch.
When was that?
When did you buy this couch?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say.
Say it.
I feel like it incriminates me even more.
Say it.
I don't remember. It's felt like a lifetime that's been in this room.
It's been 2 weeks.
I was gonna say 1. So.
It's been 2 weeks. Oh man.
Best 2 weeks of my life.
Okay. Yeah.
The floor is cold.
So anyway, I want that. I'm gonna go get the Nintendo Wii with GameCube compatibility for my grandma's basement because everyone knows she's not using it.
Yeah.
I want the Wii. I want an Xbox 360, even though I never had one. I would like to own a PlayStation 3 that's backwards compatible at some point.
That would be a hard find, but you can do it.
You have to. It's the 60 gigabyte fat model. That's what I want.
My dad's 60 gigabyte fat model died.
No.
And he had to buy a new one.
No.
And it wasn't as good.
Because it's not backwards compatible.
It's not backwards compatible.
Did he buy the second model or the slim?
A slim.
Oh, the one with the little slide?
Yeah.
No, that's the worst one.
It was the worst. It actually is the worst.
It's terrible. It's really bad.
And thank goodness,
to be fair, it was $280.
Yes, it was
which was less than half the price of the 60 gigabyte fat.
Yes, and
I think was
my dad did
$700.
wait in line, or he waited for GameStop or Walmart to open.
Yeah,
and then I think they didn't have it. Yeah, he waited for GameStop to open. They didn't have it day of, so he went to Walmart and bought it.
Wow,
because they had it at Walmart.
Man, remember when places used to have stuff in stock?
Yeah, those were days.
Man, I went. So sometimes stores, for no reason, have old stock of stuff.
Yeah.
And the 3DS has only been out of production for a year. 1 year. And sometimes you can find 3DS games at Walmart.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And so it's like, oh, if I find 3DS games at a Walmart, I will go to them at the desk and be like, hey, wild question. Do you have any DSs in the back? I know that they haven't made them for a year.
Yeah.
And I get it. I should have bought one a year ago. I should have. When I was living in La Crosse, I should have bought a DS because I should have used it then.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any money at the time. And then I could even order one from Nintendo and I just couldn't. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was sad. Even for like 4 months after that, there were still selling refurbished ones from Nintendo. You could get like an official boxed one that
Oh,
was
sick. Okay.
refurbished. And I just didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that at the time. And if I had known it, I would have bought one. Probably two. I probably would have bought two. Because they're like $120.
Oh, that's
like
not
it's
bad.
like dirt cheap. And so I go up to them and be like, "Do you happen to have a single 3DS laying anywhere? Like, I'll take it if the box is smashed. I don't care. Like, do you have one?" And they'll go. Like, sometimes they'll check.
Mhm.
Most of the time they say, "I haven't seen one in forever, dude. I'm sorry." And I was like, "Yeah, it's fair." Because I know that they either sell off old stock or return it to the whatever warehouse that
Yeah.
it came from or whatever. But very rarely you'll find like, oh, someone has like a PlayStation 4 Slim 500 gig, which they don't sell anymore
Mhm.
because they only sell this PlayStation Slim 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's weird, Or you'll see like an old Xbox for no reason. It's like, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
And so, but I always ask if I see like a 3DS game, or even if I don't, I'll just ask.
Mhm.
And most of the time, they'll like actually take time to help me out. And it's like,
Well, they're not like not that they're not doing anything else, but it's
it's their job to help you, but it's a question that doesn't need to be asked because it shouldn't like.
but it's like to give everybody insight. Like I used to work at a gas station,
Yeah,
and it's always the people who ask questions that make your day better.
yeah,
Like regardless of who whatever the question, unless the question is like, "Hey, can you do the dumbest thing in the world?"
yeah.
Then it's like, don't ask that question. But it's like,
can you
"Hey,
pick up those chips on the bottom floor?
can
for
you
me?
go look in the back and see if there's a 3DS?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I'd rather not like do
I'm not
any
gonna
of
go
my
up front.
actual crap. I've been doing my job
I'd rather go dig in the back for 20 minutes to look for a 3DS for this guy.
than do my job and then stand here." It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And it's like,
so it's like,
I appreciate the guy that'll dig in the back for a 3DS for me. And it's like, go to where we used to be and kick the pallets out of the way. If it's underneath there, I want it. Like, if it fell, as
Yeah.
long as the seal's fine, I want it.
please, I'll buy it.
Yeah, serious. I'll give you exactly enough to pay. I'll pay for it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And so like some people I'll be nice about that, and then there's some people that are like dickheads.
Mhm.
But anyway,
They just don't understand.
they don't get it. They didn't have a 3DS for 3.5 weeks, and it didn't traumatize them that they had to get rid of it because their mom said get rid of it.
That's
I
rough.
love my mom. I wasn't a fan that she made me get rid of my 2DS.
I never had a DS, so
I had a DS
I
Lite.
don't have pain.
My brother and I each had a DS Lite. I was the one with the GameCube Advance, or not the GameCube, the Game Boy Advanced.
Oh, you could like put those cartridges in.
Yeah, they had a slot in the bottom, and so it was
Nice.
the DS and the DS Lite had those slots.
Okay.
Of course, my brother and I, never owning a Game Boy, ever didn't have any Game Boy games,
Mhm.
so it was a feature that was lost on us. But it was still cool that it was there.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember opening it and going, "Man, I wish we could use this," and then going, "Well, we don't
Mm.
even have like Advanced Wars, so I can't play that."
Mhm.
Yeah, but I want the 3DS back, and the only reason why I want all these old consoles is because I like original hardware. Nothing feels better than using
Just
a
like
controller.
the old plastic box.
Yeah, it's like blowing on the cartridge to put it in the Sega,
Mhm.
blowing out the DS slot.
Mhm.
Great every time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome every time. Do not blow on your cartridges. You're not supposed to, but I did it.
Oh well.
It worked. Sometimes they don't work, you know?
And you just gotta give it another shot.
Yeah. You ever rub a PlayStation 2 disc on your shirt and your dad get mad at you?
I mean, I would do that to try to make them work when they didn't want to. But I'd do the thing where you're supposed to wipe out when you
Yeah.
not with my shirt. I would try to find one of those microfiber cloths.
Yeah.
And then you wipe
And
out.
then when that didn't work, you go, "Oh, paper towels are the same thing." And
No.
then just completely destroy the disc.
when that doesn't work, you're like, it doesn't work.
And you're sad.
And then you go find a different game and you're good to go.
Yeah. And then your
But
brother
then you're actually really sad.
gets that game working and you're like,
Oh gosh. Okay, there's I remember very classic. They made 2 games for the PlayStation 2 that my dad and I played constantly, all of the time.
Ratchet and Clank.
Nope, because that's not multiplayer.
Oh, you're right.
The Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance games.
Really?
Yep, 1 and 2.
What?
We would play all the time. We beat the second one for the first time, like when I was like a freshman or sophomore in college.
What?
So we started when I was 10, and
Whoa.
we put time into it over time until it's like 30, 40 hours of gaming, right? Or
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
total.
But, I mean, when you could only play with your dad.
Yeah, and like maybe an hour or 2 every
Yeah,
session.
yeah,
So it
maybe
literally took us
maybe 2.
like a decade
Yeah.
of like playing these games to finish them.
I mean, it took me like, what is it, like 14 years to beat Sonic 2. It took me 14 years to beat a game that's an hour long, by the way.
Oh, for sure. And then I'm definitely misremembering this. So I definitely didn't finish playing it in college. But regardless,
Yeah.
it took us a long time to finish playing it. And then we picked up another game called Champion of Norath.
Oh.
And that game, like a very similar concept to the others,
yeah.
where it's kind of like a top-down beat-em-up, basically.
Yeah.
Where you fight stuff, you level up, you fight more stuff, you get lots of gold.
Yeah.
But there was always one level in that game that would never load, and so you could never progress past it, and so we had to sell the game.
What?
Yep.
That sucks.
Like at some point in the middle of this mission, the floor would turn black, and then you could never find your way through the map
Wow.
or kill the bad guys, and then at some point it would just all turn black, and it was sad.
It's really sad. That sucks. So you guys would just play till black screen?
Yeah, we'd play until we tried a few times, but it just never worked, and it made us sad.
Yeah, that sucks.
So that's something that I'll have to find. I need to buy that game someday, 'cause you can buy it online. You can just literally find it.
Yeah.
So it's
It's only like $3 on Steam.
uh
Baldur's Gate 2 is on Steam for like $2.
it is, and they also not remastered. Wow.
They re-released it.
They made a game that's like a spiritual successor. I put that in air quotes.
Yeah.
Called Dark Alliance, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be very good. Although I feel like I'd probably get a big kick out of it.
You probably have fun because of memories.
'Cause of memories more than anything else. Although I think it has a different feel of the game.
Yeah.
So it's not top down, it's third person,
Yeah, which is fine.
which is fine.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some games that are just like...
There's also
I never played a lot of games with my dad, like
Okay.
video games.
Mhm.
It was all with my brother. It's like Mario Kart all the time.
Mhm.
Mario Bros. On the DS and the Wii.
Very nice.
Like that kind of stuff. Like Wii Play.
Mhm.
I don't know. We had some interesting games sometimes. He has the Wii, so he has all the games and stuff.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of games for it. Like more games than I have for the PlayStation. Which is fair. I mean, we had the Wii for a long time.
Mhm.
But at some point we just stopped playing games together. And the Wii went in a bin. It didn't come out until I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be funny if I played the Wii?
Yeah.
And like I modded the Wii, like I jailbroke it or whatever, or homebrewed it,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, with the help of a friend. And I was like, oh, this is cool.
Mhm.
You know, and it was just, I don't know. Like I don't play a whole lot of multiplayer games. Like I play Mario Kart with Carly, and we play Smash Bros. Sometimes. We don't play games all the time.
Yeah.
I play computer games because they're fun, but like that's a new experience for me. Like I never was able to play PC games until like literally this year because I didn't have a good computer until this year.
Mhm. PC games are fun.
They are fun, and they're you can put a lot of hours. Like I have 34 hours on one save file of Far Cry 6, which is a game that came out 3 months ago.
Yeah. My favorite game of all time, I have 1,500 hours in.
Which is what?
Way too long. Actually, not
What
long
game is
enough. It's EU4. It's like a map painting strategy game.
Oh, nice. That's actually a good game to put a lot of hours in, though.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy's fun. I like strategy games.
It's a good
I've
game.
got like 130 hours in Skyrim.
That's a good game to have 130 hours in.
I have like 4 hours on the PlayStation 4 in Skyrim. No, I have more than that. I did beat the Thieves Guild and the Assassin's Guild quests
Those are good quests.
on the same save file. So
Wait, Dark Brotherhood? That's what you mean
Dark
by
Brotherhood
Assassins. Yep.
Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild.
The Assassin's Guild just tried to kill me in Skyrim. That also happens.
Yeah.
As you're on your way to the Greybeards. It was very strange.
Depends on who you make mad at you, though. Who'd you make mad at you?
What do you mean? Who do you make mad in that game?
You can make a lot of people mad in that game.
I made someone mad at the start of the game?
I think so.
My gosh.
Dark Brotherhood.
I know. Now I'm trying to remember who I made mad at the start of the game. Like the cultist came.
That's different.
Like that's from
The cultists
Solstein.
yeah, that's the DLC.
I know that's the DLC thing. But I don't remember what. Who would I have made mad?
It's just a random occurrence. Like the thieves
It's just
are doing
random?
Yeah, it's just random.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of people would know. Well, a lot of people appear to know the Dragonborn, like right after the Greybeard summon him. So I don't know if it particularly matters too much.
Yeah.
It would make sense that it's random to me, anyways. Although it'd be nice to go hunt them down and kill them. That would be a good revenge story. But that's the thing. Never mind. We don't need to talk about Skyrim. But it's good. It's definitely a good, like, grindy, like, time waster kind of game. Although you're not really wasting time. But I, like, remember a lot of quests very fondly. Which is kind of fun to stumble into them again.
Yeah. I like the vampire ambush. That one actually sucks.
I don't know if I remember the vampire ambush. I never did the...
I hate getting ambushed by vampires. They're actually trash.
'Cause is it, the Dawn Grass? No, not Dawn
The
Grass.
Dawn Guard is
The Dawn Guard.
Those are the ones that are with the that are vampire hunters.
But is that quest line where you can also choose to just become a vampire?
Yeah, that's how I broke Skyrim on my first save file.
Nice.
Because I was a werewolf and a vampire, and you can't do that.
So Skyrim died?
It just goes black, and then you fly around. And it's not actually fun because you're not in control. But it's literally the only reason why I have like 97 out of 100 trophies.
Okay.
Because I'm not doing this quest line again.
Well, yeah, of course.
So it sucks. Like, and it's a bummer too, because that's the save file that I did like everything on. Like, because it was my first time playing it, so I was like, I'm gonna do the deal, and it was like the save file where I was like, I'm not gonna use console commands.
Yeah.
And now when I play, I use console commands all the time
Mm-hmm.
because I'm lazy and I don't want to go get 10,000 gold. Anyway. Ugh.
Yep. Well, anyways, welcome to the end of the episode, everybody.
It's the end.
We've being outside, freezing in the cold, kind of lost the rest of our brain cells for this evening. I hope that this a la carte experience, talking about video games, has been very enlightening to all of you. If you ever stumble across any classic consoles, any 3DSs, regular DSs, stumble across any, gosh, I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Ready?
Just hit us up on the
Hired
Reddit.
assassin.
Paul will buy anything from you for an overinflated price.
That's not true.
Of $900,000.
That's not true. I'm going to turn off your microphone. That's not true at all. Hit me up. Post something in the subreddit if you have something you're willing to sell and you want to talk like a human being about it and not be terrible.
Don't be terrible.
We have limited funds. And just because I want stuff doesn't mean I can afford it if you put a ridiculous price on it. But if you have
That's true.
a Sega Genesis original model that you're willing to part with, put a note in the subreddit, and I will message you. Same thing goes for the PlayStation, the big gray one.
The big gray one.
Big gray one. PlayStation 3 60GB fat model. That also. And a 3DS, new 3DS XL. If you have one of those. I'll also accept a new 2DS XL, but I'm more inclined to accept the new 3DS XL. Mostly because it can hold more gigabytes of storage on the micro SD card.
Anyway, Paul.
Anyway, if
The
you have those
assassin?
things, go ahead and put those things in the not the Discord because we don't have one
The
of those.
Reddit.
The Reddit. I don't feel like setting up a
Or
Discord.
comment on YouTube. Who cares?
Or comment on YouTube. I mean, I'm not going to be able to talk with you after that because then you're going to have to post like your number or something.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of strange.
Kind of don't put your number on the internet.
Don't do that.
But I mean, I'm one of the admins or one of the mods of the subreddit, so you can trust polyhotpocket-pod. That's actually me. Don't worry.
It is actually you.
Anyway, a Dark Brotherhood assassin tries to kill you. This assassin is generic and not from the Sanctuary. This random event can happen at any time, even if the Dragonborn joins the Dark Brotherhood, and can even occur after their questline is completed.
Oh,
You
interesting.
cannot loot their armor.
Sad.
Which is a bummer because it's a great way to get assassin's armor early, but you can't do it.
Yeah, it's sad.
It sucks.
Anyways, thank you for joining us, Varietizers.
Yeah, it's fun.
Been a glorious evening.
Catch us on the bonus. Go check out our subreddit. Go check out my stream, twitch.tv/polyhotpocket. Go check out our YouTube if you're not listening on there already. Otherwise, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, all that stuff. We're on Audible, which is hilarious to me.
It's great, actually.
Yeah, it's a good meme. It's actually the only reason why I did it, because I was like, oh, man, you could put podcasts on this. Wouldn't it be hilarious if our stupid podcast was on Audible?
It's a good meme.
And it's a good meme. Yeah. Also, check us out on Patreon. We have like 24 episodes of bonus content for you guys.
That's over a day.
That's over a day, and it's $5 gets you 24. So over a day of content for $5. I mean, that sounds pretty good to me.
Oh, yeah.
Baby. Anyway, we'll catch you guys all next week. Thank you so much for listening. Peace. Also, Elliot's dead. Yes, we killed him. Lake City Variety is a product of us, with our intro and outro written by Mia. You can give her a follow on Instagram at Mia_art_1391. Thank you for listening to the show. We'll be back next week.
Just three guys who are sitting on a couch and they're recording a podcast.